Elsewhere, Dow component Johnson & Johnson reported better than expected earnings and increased its guidance, but that wasn't enough to push the stock higher. Meg Tirrell explains why.
Johnson & Johnson is the world's largest healthcare company. It sells everything from prescription drugs to Band-Aids to tools for hip and knee replacements. And in the second quarter, its profit and sales beat Wall Street's expectations. But the stock fell. That may be because investors' focus is elsewhere. Legal battles around baby powder and opioid painkillers.
It's still pretty difficult for investors to understand the implications of some of the legal liabilities that they may face with respect to talc and also with opioids.
Closing arguments took place yesterday in a case in Oklahoma where state attorneys claim Johnson & Johnson contributed to the opioid crisis.
The defendants blame everyone except themselves, for causing this crisis.
A decision from the judge is expected later this summer. In an interview this morning, J&J's chief financial officer disputed the claims.
We readily admit there's an opioid epidemic that needs to be solved by many parties, and it has to be multifactorial in terms of its solution set. But here the facts don't align to the claims that the state is making.
And J&J's stock fell last week on a report the Justice Department has opened a criminal investigation into whether the company lied to the public about the risk of asbestos in its talcum powder products, going back to the 1970s.
We're complying fully and cooperating fully with the Department of Justice. It's an astute organization. I'm sure once they go through the facts, they'll come to the same conclusions that the company acted responsibly and that the product is safe.
But the uncertainty leaves investors unsure, said Jefferies healthcare strategist Jared Holtz. That makes a stock that was considered a defensive, steady investment less so.
The quarter, netting everything out, very much in line. I think the legal overhang is the consideration in terms of buying or selling the stock into the second half.
Today, anyway, investors sold. For Nightly Business Report, I'm Meg Tirrell.